179, right? All right, I'm gonna throw my glasses on and then I'm gonna chat as I'm driving to work. I'm gonna do my 1 hour walk before work starts. So I gotta leave now because I need to get there by 9:30. So let's set up this stupid camera here. Uh, Actually, let's do this. Yeah, this shirt's too big. This is an extra large. Could you believe that? Can you believe that? What? That's crazy. I'm going on 6 months. All right, here we go. Me chatting, driving. Just drop my kids off at school. Well, after school program. Um, they Boys and Girls Club, they call it. It's a really cool program for kids. They can hang out with their friends and stuff while parents work. My wife and I work and stuff. So wife had her shift and she is sleeping and I'm going to work. So I drop the kids off and I'm heading to work. And I do an hour walk before I go to work. Um, so that's been working for me. That's like the latest thing. Um, Very few people, if no one at all, walk with me. I do offer, you know, like I ask people like, hey, you want to go for a walk and want to do a lap around the building with me? And they're like, no, I don't want to do a lap around the building with you. They rather like surf on their phone, scroll on their phones and eat and then complain that they've gained too much weight. Hey, how are you? Good morning. I hit 179. I'm like 179 even. You enjoy my content, please feel free to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Shout out from where you are. Thank you for joining me. I'm um I'm excited that you're here. I'm excited that I have the ability to live stream. I teach my kids about time management and yeah, and I feel like I'm succeeding here. I'm just trying to do the best I can with where I'm at, you know what I mean? And and I screw it up. I jack up my and let me know you can hear me and all that stuff, man. Let and Everyone chat, let me know that you can hear me. Give me some thumbs up. I can't really read the chat because I'm driving. I'm actually heading to work and I'm doing a 1 hour walk before work, and I do that about 5 days a week. And so I do post my walks on social media. So check out X, or I like to call it YouTube or Twitter, but that's uh, at Loud Italian. L uh, L 0UD underscore ITALIAN or PS underscore loyalist. Um, and so, yeah, awesome. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the thumbs up so I know you can hear me. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm even thinking about getting some different shades. My son loves wearing uh these glasses and stuff, so I might gift them to him and get a pair of like aviators or something. Um, but yeah, I hit 179. I started this journey at like it was like 230, 220 something, 230 something. I was miserable. I had chub rub. Um, and for those who never had a weight issue, chub rub is when your thighs rub together and it creates irritation and bumps, and you have to kind of walk in a bow-legged state. I love the fact that when I walk now, my legs do not rub together. I look down and I can see my toes. I haven't seen my toes since I was 6 years old. And you're like, well, what are you doing? What's happening with Loud Italian? How is he able to go from December 26th, 2025 to June, and I'm only a few days away from my birthday? I'm going to be 44. This face is 44 years old in less than 10 days. Let that sink in, right? I probably look like I'm 30 something. I'm basically a vampire. Eat your heart out, Lestat, right? For Anne Rice fans out there. Um, Interview with the Vampire. But anyway, yeah, that's how I might keep my pinkish hue, um, and my youthful glow. So yeah, I'm a father of 10 years now. I have two kids. Um, Graham, my oldest, he's going to be 10 in December, and Emmy just had her seventh birthday in May, and yeah, so I'm a proud parent. I struggle. I'm on a struggle bus like anyone else. Um, and it can be tough, right? For a while there, I let my weight just go. I didn't really care. I had no. Whoa, there goes my phone because I didn't hold it. Apologies, guys. Um, but yeah, I mean, I feel like if these videos do help you, right? They bring you some enlightenment. They bring you some joy. Um, like you're curious on my journey and sort of thing. I'm kind of going through it now. For those of you joining me, thank you so much. Thank you so much for you know just however the YouTube algorithm found you. If you're doing laundry, if you're doing dishes, if you're like at a kid's game, if you're like in the bathroom and you've got Amazon packages on order. I mean, whatever, right? Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for taking a chance and spending some of your time with me. Time is the most precious commodity. It's one of those ones that we give away freely, right? But I might say philosophy for another video. But yeah, this is I forget which video it is. It's probably episode 4 or 5, but it's from dad bod to father figure, my weight loss journey, my journey. And so like what have I done? What's happening in your lifestyle? Well, I have a bedtime, right? I send myself to bed at about 10 p.m. I try to get to sleep by no later than 10:30. It kind of fluctuates with my meds. So, I didn't have a particularly great night of sleep last night, so I'm sure my hormones are all out of whack right now. And like that's number one, sleep like it's your job, they say. 7 to 8 hours, non-negotiable, right? Um, Number two, I am fasting, right? Intermittent fasting. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's kind of it could be all the rage right now, but why are we going what's going on the roads? I got one guy in this fast lane. He's going like 10 miles an hour. And then I've got two vehicles on the right. This is a Monday, right? And I'm like, where are these people at? Like they should be working, right? you know, eh, why aren't they at work? I'm going to work. Why aren't these people working? Anyway, number two, yeah, like, right, there's the fasting. So it's like, well, what do you do? What's the fasting like? Well, I fast 16 to 18 hours a day. My meal usually will end by no later than 8 p.m., 8:30, maybe 9 if I push it a little bit. And then I will not eat um, or have anything sugar related to jack up my insulin levels um, past like or before 4 p.m. And so generally my eating window is 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I allow myself about 28 to 32 hours of eating per week. And I do usually OMADs, which are one meal a day, 5 days a week. So it works for my schedule. Um, I'm not necessarily recommending it, right? I mean, if you're interested in trying it, like, I would probably recommend check with your doctor. But for me, I've experimented with it for a long, long time, and it's working for me. Um, and I get fist bumps and handshakes and pats and stuff, even though I'm not really one for touching all the time, right? People are like, "Man, you look great. What are you doing?" Right? And they're like, they want to they want to work out, right? They want to work out for what they're doing, and I'm like, it's not it's not really the working out that's doing it. It's the clean eating, it's the nutrition, it's the um, it's all of that stuff, right? It's everything. Nutrition is everything. You want to eat clean. Um, and it's whole foods. I'm not eating any processed foods. I'm not eating any I'm not eating any junk, right? It's no processed foods. It's all whole foods, not necessarily organic. Although I do like organic Honeycrisp apples, but they're really expensive right now, and I'm not buying those. I'm eating apples, but they're not as expensive. So I better watch my speed. All right, I got it on cruise control now, so I'm good. I try to drive like everybody on the road is a cop, right? And I plug in. I have this like GPS thing on my electric car here, and it lets me know how long it takes me to get to work. So I'll be getting there by 9:33. That's fine. I'm all right with that. I'm gonna do a walk, and I might live stream one of my walks. We'll see. We'll see. I'm thinking about getting a camera, and then you're able to see what I see. Let me know if that's something that you're interested in. Let me know if my channel brings you some levity. It's very difficult times, and gas is expensive, and tech is expensive. Things are expensive, right? Like my avocados are going up. I eat avocados every day. It's part of my nutritional regimen. I'm the only one in my family that likes avocados, and I try to get my kids to eat avocados, but they're 10 and 7, right? So it's like, how do you get a 10 and 7-year-old to eat an avocado? You can't. All you can do is model good behavior. That's all you can do, right? Just like anyone else. All right. And number three, after my fasting, right, is I do my walks. I try to get in 15,000 steps a day. In other words, 7.5 miles a day. And if you're not interested in like or if you're interested in like low intensity workouts that target abdominal area, specifically visceral fat, right? And that's the fat that lines your organs and stuff, right? And that could push out the belly and things like that. And that's usually where it's like the last to be lost, right? Like at least for me, my weight is lost through like the distal to proximal areas. So as far away from my belly button to my belly button in that order. So face thins out, hands thin out, legs thin out, arms thin out, right? There's not a lot of fat there, a lot of fat cell distribution. It's generally in your area of abdominals. And the body doesn't like to lose, but you can kind of hack it in a way. I don't really like to say the word hack. I'm not a programmer or anything, but right, you want to keep it has different receptors than the other body, the other parts of the body, right? It acts differently, and it's all about hormones, not calories or anything. It's hormones. Um, you can always look into Dr. Bickman and Dr. Jason Fung, who wrote Hunger Code and Obesity Code. Dr. Jared Diamond, you could check him out, or Dr. Mike Diamond. He's a good resource. These Dr. Jason Fung and Bickman, they're leading experts in fasting and metabolism, and they're very, very, very smart guys. And I'm always humbled by the stuff that they say. And just to let you know, I recently memorized there's 7 different hormones responsible for hunger. Did you know that? Like 5 of them are responsible for lowering your hunger, and 2 of them are responsible for increasing your hunger, right? So you got ghrelin, you got the ghrelin hormone, right? You got the leptin hormone, you've got the insulin hormone, you have the GLP-1 or glucagon like peptide 1, GLP-1, right? You have peptide YY, you have cortisol, and you have peptide YY, right? And all 7 of these hormones are responsible for hunger. So if you're able to understand hunger, you're able to understand what, like, why are you hungry, right? Like for me, like there's like Dr. Jason Fung in his book Hunger Code, he talks about 3 different types of hunger. And this is funny, so you're not going to want to miss this, right? You've got conditioned hunger. You've got the hunger where you believe your entire life, at least like I did, like I was raised to eat breakfast in the morning, right? I would have a bowl of cereal, I'd have milk, and I'd have juice or something if I was lucky. And that's all wrong. Like I didn't need to eat in the morning because I wasn't really hungry, right? I would have tapped into my fat stores and I wouldn't have been what, like, they called me Fatio when I was a kid because my last name is Fazio. My dad's Sicilian. And he thought we were eating healthy. He thought we were eating healthy because he would buy name brand products. Oh, he didn't know. He had no idea, right? He had no idea. We and that and that phrase, eat like, it's the breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It's not. It's not the most important meal of the day. The first meal is the most important meal of the day, right? And that's generally in the afternoons. So do that. Eat in the afternoons, right? I don't eat until about 4 p.m. Terry Crews, he eats at 2 p.m. Right? You've got Pierre, right? Former UFC title guy. He's a faster. He's an extended faster. He does crazier fast than I do. I'm trying to break into like the 36 to 48 hour fasts and stuff, right? And it's great, right? I love it. And I know I'm springing board, and I was like, okay, so you covered one of the 3 hungers, right? You had the and real quick before I go into number 2. But number 1, right? The conditioned hunger, right? In 1970 something, there was a cereal Kellogg cereal came up with the slogan, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, right? And for some reason it stuck, and it's embedded into culture and embedded into our minds and our psychology to go ahead and have breakfast in the morning. But breakfast, if you think about the word, right? Breakfast is break fast, right? You're breaking your fast. That's all it is. So you can push that to the afternoon. You're not going to die, right? If anything, you're going to tap into what I've tapped into. And that doesn't generally happen until like after 14 to 16 hours of not eating anything, right? You're going to want to make sure that you're going to keep your sugars low. You want to keep your insulin levels low, and your body is going to be able to burn fat, right? It's going to be able to do the lipolysis. It's going to be able to pull that fat out of your cells and use it for energy. And you're going to experience what they call autophagy. AUTOPHAGY, right? Can I get some thumbs up for those who know autophagy in the comments section below? Hello, autophagy. It's your body, it's your body recycling damaged, unused, or broken cells, right? So if you have like a lot of fat tissue and stuff to lose, you have like stretch marks, you know, like you want to look younger. My ladies out there, right, who want to, who are thinking about doing like surgeries and stuff, I'd hold off on that. Okay. I'd hold off on that. My wife, she did gastric bypass and stuff, but that's not really like, I mean, I guess if you're going to go that way and everything is like, everyone's a little different, but I promise you, if you could try out that fasting thing, you know what I mean? And you can report your findings, right? Just shout out, right? If it works for you. It's fantastic. Um, and you look younger, right? You're going to be able to tap into those youth like hormones, and you're going to look younger. You're going to increase mitochondria in the cells, right? And you're going to have more energy. You're going to look great, right? So you'll be ready for those reunions and all that stuff. And it's all about not necessarily how you look, right? I mean, that's not really what it's about. What it is about is how you feel, right? And so that's conditioned hunger, right? And then you have hedonic hunger. Hedonic hunger is like what my dad does. It's what a lot of people do. They eat because they're bored. Never in human history have we been around enough food, right? To where it's around us all the time. But a lot of the food that's around us is not actual food, right? If it has a long list of ingredients, it's probably not food. It's factory made, right? So you're gonna want to eat whole foods, chicken and fish and plant based and for vegans and stuff. I know a lot of vegans or people who have dietary restrictions and stuff, right? Um, I don't have any dietary restrictions except for, and I don't even necessarily eat organic. I mean, I see all day long people have organic fruits and vegetables in their baskets, but they have alcohol and they have processed foods in their basket as well. It's like that's not going to do it for you. Just because you eat organic fruits and vegetables and you know what I mean, and you're drinking and stuff, right? Even socially or recreationally or one or two times, you're going to want to cut that stuff out, right? You're going to want to limit it, right? And a lot of people are like buying 4 or 5 bottles of wine, and I've done that. I wasn't really into wine. I was more into, right? And I would have one of those bigger bottles of bourbon every 2 weeks, but I don't have that anymore. I don't drink. It's been almost a year since I drank anything alcoholic related, and I wanted to cut that out. I didn't want that to be in my kids. You know, I wanted to be a better role model for my kids, a better dad, a better version of myself, and so that's what I did. I cut that out. So I waxed that out. I got rid of that. Um, and so yeah, and then so like that's what it is. Out of boredom, you're not necessarily hungry, but you're bored and you're gonna eat, right? And then number three, right? That's actual hunger. And when you're able to identify one of those three, right? Conditioned, hedonic, or homeostatic, you're going to be able to implement strategies, right? And accountability buddies are helpful. You don't want to do this alone, right? You're going to want to reach out and talk to a buddy, a trusted friend, right? And sometimes you go out to social events, right? And you're like, sometimes, everyone's eating or whatever. You don't need to eat, right? You could take water, you can bring electrolytes, you can bring creatine, you can mix that together like I do, right? Um, and have that. It doesn't, as long as it doesn't um activate a metabolic response in your body, you're good, right? Your insulin levels are low. Your ketones are going. It's going to produce ketone bodies, right? And you're going to be able to burn that fat, and you're going to unlock those. You're going to unlock autophagy. You're going to unlock your potential, right? I mean, I've done it. I've done it. Those three things, like, consistently, and that's what it's about. It's not. It's not. It's not perfection. It's progress. You want excellence, right? Because I necessarily believe that you know um, perfection is reachable, right? I feel like the closest thing you can get to perfection is excellence, right? Multiple days in, days out of excellence. Can you do it, right? And so my golden three, right? And thank you for joining me. Thank you. And if these videos help you, this might actually be what my YouTube channel becomes, right? Because I feel like I've dropped off uh or I've dropped out of the conversation on like my gaming and stuff, right? And I do gaming, right? Loud Italian gaming, and I do stream games and stuff, right? And so, I find, like my subtitle says, right? Gaming is is a form of my therapy, but I also love walking, right? Walking has become a very important part of my lifestyle. I went from someone who walked, like, I got to go for a walk, to someone who's a walker. And I love walking. I have my headphones on, right? Um my headphones on, and I listen to music, and sometimes I sing out loud. Most of the time I sing out loud. And so, Broadway musicals or country songs. Um I sing a lot of Toby, not Toby Keith, but Tim McGraw. I sing sorts of people, right? And I don't think I'm going to get copyrighted here because I'm not playing any songs for you. So, like, it should be fine to talk about. And I'm at work just about. I got here. It's almost, yeah. I'm going on 9:33. I'm turning off here. I'm going to set up for my walk. And yeah, so that's just kind of a quick down and dirty, or clean, you know, video. Pretty positive. Um, I didn't recommend it for kids just in case I got, livid on the road, because there's crazy drivers everywhere. I swear people don't know how to drive. Um, I'm not the best driver in the world, and I can't drive around my wife's truck. It's a freaking boat. Um, she recently got a Toyota Tundra, and that's her vehicle. And I'm not about vehicles. I'm more tech. I'm more like athletic, or I'm pursuing athletic like endeavors. Um, and yeah, and so, like, if you're interested in this stuff, if you're into what I'm saying, and you can connect with some of this verbiage and stuff, right? Like, subscribe, and sound off in the comments. Give me thumbs up. I'm glad that you were here. Thank you for joining me. If you subscribe, thank you so much. I appreciate your follow and your subscription. I appreciate you. I uh I value you. I value you. I appreciate you. I see you and I hear you, right? They're all things that are usually left out of the collective conscious, and it's something that we should bring back, right? And I'm not taking your time for granted. I thank you so much. Um, you know, and I'm trying to get better, and that's what it's all about. I'm trying to become the best version of myself. I'm trying to be the best dad I can be for my kids. I'm trying to be a better husband for my wife. And it's tough, right? And I'm working on it. It's my wife says I'm a work in progress, and I'm trying to get back into therapy and that sort of thing. So we'll see. We'll see if all that happens. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna cut this video. I'll end it. I'll wrap it up as soon as I park. but I'm here. I got to work. Um, and I'm about 30 minutes of just sheer chit chat. And I don't think I would be able to do. And I want to thank fasting. I want to thank tapping into my ketogenic bodies and being in a ketogenic state, right? Because if I had glucose falling through my body right now, I would not be able to have conversations like this with you, right? So my brain is able to access those ketones, and I'm firing, right? I'm able to have these conversations with you. So thank you to intermittent fasting. Thank you so much. I am grateful. I appreciate it. Um, and I'm not going to eat until I'm going to sip on water and coffee until about 12:30. I'll probably cut it off by 12 so I can sleep decently tonight. I probably drank too much coffee yesterday and it kind of screwed with my REM sleep. I do have a Garmin watch, and I do recommend getting some sort of watch that helps you track your sleep, because sleep is key. Sleep like it's your job. I'm parking right now. I like to back in when I park, and I always park in the corner, right? So I'm always, and that's a strategy that I've developed, right? And that's something that I highly recommend you do. Like if you're a traveler, take the stairs whenever you can, right? Don't take the elevator, right? You're at an amusement park, try to take the stairs, walk more, right? Um, you'll be surprised. When you're parking at a grocery store, park farther away, right? Park farther away. That's what works for me. I'm the farthest employee that parks farthest away. I park in the corners. Plus, it keeps your car looking newer longer, right? Which is a good mindset to have if you get like a more expensive vehicle, right? So, um, yeah. So let me know. Thank you so much, Hunter. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Fire Edits. Thank you. Nicola, thank you guys. Hey, thanks everyone. Thank you. I'm 179 now. I am loud Italian. Thank you so much for joining me. It means everything to me. And I will get better. I will. I have to. It's take the island by burning the boats, right? So there is no retreat, there is no surrender. I've got to do it. It's all or nothing, right? I'm all in. I'm all in. 100%, right? 100%. Not 101%, not 99%. It's all 100%. So thank you. I probably had a lot of people jump in and out. Sorry if I missed your shout out and stuff, but thank you. And it's like, guys, stop talking. Something. Thank you so much. Well, I'm grateful. I'm thankful. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my vehicle here, and I'm gonna get ready to go for my walk. So I got my 1 hour walk, or at least 45-minute walk, and I'm gonna jam out of some music and get my walk in. So yeah, that's it. Sure, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Appreciate you, and we'll chat soon. Okay. All right. Have a great day wherever you are in the world, right? You keep on keeping on. Put that one foot in front of the other. You know, got to get a walking pad, walk farther, park farther away. Take a hand basket when you can. If you're carrying a shopping basket, push it, don't lean on it, right? All these little things it's called habit stacking, right? And you're going to be able to get that done, right? I was able to get this done, and it's a consistent thing, right? You stop and then you start going regressing, right? Always about progress, right? Not perfection. So thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Have a good one, guys. Peace.